You're ready for this? Yo, who's the daddy? Easy guys, Dom here from Cringy Dad Gaming. So welcome to my final part of my Resident Evil 3 Remake walkthrough guide. Just so you are aware, this is not a speed run and we are playing this on the standard difficulty. So we pick up in the hospital as your Valentine. She's just received the vaccine and now we're going to get ready for the final part of the game. Just make sure you've reloaded all your weapons that you're going to take with you, and now we're just going to offload any junk we don't need, including the handgun bullets, herbs and first aid sprays. We just want to make sure that we've got enough space to be able to pick up any goodies along the way that we may need towards the end of the game, but do make sure you take out the lockpick. Now you will find the G18 burst model here, but it's relatively inaccurate if I'm honest. I normally just store that up and I don't tend to use it at this point in the game. And don't forget to save if you need to.
Morning, sunshine.
You saved my life.
I sure as shit didn't. That was all Carlos. He carried you here and he treated you himself, crazy bastard.
Where is he?
He went underground. Bard stockpiled the vaccine, enough to give this city some hope.
He thinks he can do this by himself. I'm going after him.
Wait, did you see the broadcast? They're gonna blow the city sky high. I'm trying to get a hold of someone, anyone with the clearance to stop it. Leave this mess to him. He's a professional.
So am I.
Right. Guess I'm not talking you out of this. The storage facility is underground, beneath this hospital. I've lost contact with Carlos, so expect trouble.
There are a couple of boxes in here that you can break open if you want, but at this stage there's nothing really worthwhile in there. And also just be aware of any zombies that may be left alive in this area. Now the door we need to actually go through to get through to the next area is right here on the right hand side. We're just going to use the lockpick to unlock this. However, we're not finished in this area. We are going to go and collect a few of the goodies. So before continuing on down that way, we're just going to go back through the hospital. Now, one of the main things really that we're coming back through here for is the Lightning Hawk Magnum. This is going to be really important for us as some boss battles. We've also got some ammo in this box here as well, just around this corner. So we want to make sure that we're collecting that on the way as well. They can also craft magnum ammo by using 2 of the high-grade gunpowders, but that box there is the box we want to get to. Now, this may be easily missed by a lot of people because it's an area that can't actually be accessed by Carlos. So when Carlos comes through this area the first time round, you can't actually access it. Now we're going to go back into Dr. Bard's research area because there is an explosive bee on the desk there which we want, and then we're going to go right here and just make sure our grenade launcher is ready with a mine round because we have got a hunter here. Now once we've killed that hunter, we can just go into the right of where these glass windows have been smashed, and we're going to use our lockpick to unlock this locker here and collect some explosive rounds. There's 6 there, which is a full mag, which is really handy. We will need that later on. Now we're just going to go up the stairs here. 3 doors to the left here. Through into near where the locker room is that we were earlier. There will be some zombies that have come to life in this area, so just cracking out the shotgun just to finish these guys off. These ones on the floor sometimes come alive, so we just want to double check they're dead. And then using the lockpick on this locker here will give us a decent amount of shotgun shells. Now 12 shotgun shells is pretty substantial, so we definitely want that. I'm going to turn right here and then left. We're going to do a left again towards the nurse's station. Be aware there will be a hunter here. Couple of mine rounds make easy work of it. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to go through to the nurses station area and through where we got the cassette tape where the hunters were early on. You may have remembered a locker in here with another yellow padlock on. We're just going to pick that now. And in here you will also get another 4 Magnum rounds. Just back into the room where the hunters were on the right hand side, you will get an explosive A, which we can now combine with the explosive B to make some flame rounds. So here we're going to go along to the end. Now this is the bit that can be missed. Carlos can't access it. But Jill is small enough to be able to crawl underneath. This will now allow us to jump down through the window where we'll find the case with the Lightning Hawk Magnum.
Guaranteed to give you a headache.
It most definitely is, and this is going to be really important for some of our boss battles later on. So here we can jump over and then turn right and just leads us back through to where we were early on the ground floor. We can now just turn right through these doors here. Right again. And then as we go through this door, it will just lead us along, back around the corridor, back to where we were at the beginning. Through the door on the left-hand side here. There is a hunter in here, so we just use an explosive round on him. We'll kill him in one shot, usually with the explosive rounds. And then through the door that we unlocked at the start. Again, there is a box here. There's not really anything useful in this. I wanted to double check this one just in case. I did use a shotgun shell on it just for 7 handgun rounds, which I personally felt a little bit annoyed at after I'd done it. But, you know, it is one of those things. And you will sometimes find that sometimes in these boxes, things are not always the same. So they sometimes will change. But don't forget to pick up the explosive A there just on top of that box. And now just on the left hand side here is the lift control, which will take us down to the underground section of the hospital.
How is it no one in the hospital ever noticed all this?
So just over in the left here on this forklift truck usually is a green herb if you're playing this on the standard difficulty. We can also discard the lockpick now to be able to make some room in our inventory. We don't need it again now after this point in the game. Right in front of us here is the lift control, which is going to allow us to get up onto this little raised area, which will lower down here for us, allowing us to get to the next area. So we do have another hip pouch here on this filing cabinet, which is going to give us another 2 slots in our inventory. There is also a storage box and a typewriter here, so do whatever you need here. We're just going to store up any items that we don't need at this stage, which is going to be pretty much nearly everything at this stage. We don't really need a lot of this stuff. And then save if you need to. So going out to the doors on our right here. We are just going to jump down. We will need to run over to the lift over here to trigger an event where we realise that there's fuses missing in this box, which we need to be able to use the lift.
I respect your tenacity, but I'm afraid our games end here.
You think this is over?
So a pale head drops down here in front of the console we need to use. A few shots in quick succession with the shotgun will kill that. And now just using the console to be able to lower down the platform. We can interact with the other terminal once we're on this to raise us up. And straight in front of you here is the first fuse. There are a couple of boxes on the right there if you want to open them up. There's usually a red herb and some handgun bullets in these. We go down the ladder here. Just be aware that there will be an event trigger on the left with a container falling down, which will disorientate you for a second, but be very quick because there are two dogs straight away, straight in front of you that will jump over. Run over to this section again, a container will fall down, just blocking your way, but if we continue around to the left here, there will be a zombie here. And once you've killed him, there is a little section in between the rack in here that you can squeeze between.
No, wait.
And a red herb on the other side if you need it. Now we can lower this platform down here, allowing us to get through to the section behind it. There is one of these silver cases on this side, which will get you the shell holder for the shotgun. Don't forget to attach that. Now what we want to do is actually raise the platform up. If we don't raise it up, we won't be able to get through to the next section. Now just straight in front of us here are some handgun ammo, if you need that. And then we can run around to the right here, through this door. Just be aware there will be two zombies and a pale head in here. Once you've taken these guys out, there is a door in front of us here that we can unlock, which will take us back through to where the typewriter and storage box was when we first came into this area. Again, we can now just store up anything we don't need, clearing a bit of space in our inventory. Don't forget to save if you need to. And then we're going to go back through the door we came from. On the left hand side here are some shotgun shells, and then in the corner here behind us is a door which will lead us down. Now there is a hunter in this area, so what we can do is just pop some mine rounds down there because he will jump out pretty quick. He will dodge sometimes his shot, so we're just going to shoot a mine round down there just to stun him a little bit when he runs forward so we can finish him off. We did pick up the gunpowder there on the left hand side, and then here is our second fuse. So one more to go. We're just going to turn back around and go back up the ladders. Turn right going back on ourselves. So we're just heading back towards that area where the shotgun shell holder was, and then over the platform that we raised. And then along here will be another console where we can now raise another platform. Just over on the top of this container here is a high-grade gunpowder. And then down the ladder here. So just over here is the third fuse. Now these containers will pop open here. There are a group of zombies in there, but you tend to find using the shotgun in there is pretty good because a lot of the shotgun shot will actually ricochet off the inside of the container, killing a lot of the zombies quite quickly. Now there are a couple of gunpowders and a high-grade gunpowder in here, which is pretty good. Now in this other container, it does pop open. There is one of these toad-like monsters in there. Now I did pick up some flame rounds from the box a little bit early on, which you may have noticed. And that is because I was thinking about killing it, but usually in that container is just a green herb, and unless you really need that, then I think it's sometimes better off to save the ammo. And at this stage I made a decision to save the flame round because I'd got enough herbs. So we're literally just going back round to where we started. Now we've got all 3 fuses and we can just drop down here. Now these 3 zombies here will come alive with like the parasite on their heads. You can just pretty much blast them pretty easy with your shotgun. And now we can go to the fuse box over on the left here and then just use the fuses to then be able to get in the lift to go up to the next area.
Shit, he got away. What was he doing in here?
So over on the left here we do have a typewriter and a storage box. Here we can just make sure we're combining any gunpowders we need for some additional ammunition and then storing up anything we don't need at this stage. We are taking out the Magnum now at this point, so we've got that in our inventory, and then this is the main part of the terminal which you need to progress the story.
Tyrell.
I got through. They're willing to negotiate. They'll call off the strike if, and this is one big-ass if, we can deliver the vaccine to them before they launch.
How long do we have?
Hours, maybe.
Then let's not waste one more second.
This way.
So just before you follow T, round the back of this console here is actually a silver box, and here you'll get the extended barrel for the Magnum. Don't forget to attach that to the Lightning Hawk. Pop a save in there if you need to. And now just run over to Tyrell to get through to the next area.
We'll find the vaccine up ahead.
Sure you don't need to stop?
Stop and do what? I got your back.
All right, let's get this done.
After your lucky escape there, we just run through to the left here. after we've been washed down in the decontamination chamber. We can't get through this door on the right hand side at this point. We do have a safe room here. Just in the corner here is a green herb. There is a map actually in part of this file here, so by taking that you will get the Nest 2 map. And a storage box and a tight wire so we can manage our inventory and save if we need to. So after we've popped our save in there, just on the right hand side here is some high grade gunpowder on the shelf. And if then we turn left and go up these stairs. Turn right here. Now on the left here there is ammo around there and a file, but to be honest with you, the zombies come alive and it's not really worth wasting the ammo for what you get around there. We are going to go to this terminal here though and be able to get a USB key that we'll need to access one of the other rooms. So in this area is some more high grade gunpowder, and just at the top here after this dead body is some handgun ammo if you need it. Before we leave, there is also a file over here on this bed that actually tells us how to synthesize the vaccine. It's pretty straightforward and I will be talking you through that in a little while. So we're just going back the way we came. Back down the stairs. And we'll turn left here. Remember that door that we said about earlier on? We can now use our access key to be able to access this door. Now just be aware there is a zombie here on the right hand side and also a few pale heads. One up the stairs here, which is where we want to go first. Just make sure we pump a few shotgun shells into that nice and quick to make sure it's dead. And then in this room straight in front of us, we will be able to interact with this. This will now give us part of the vaccine that we need to be able to synthesize, and this is the culture sample. And then just over on the left here, this zombie will come alive behind you. Make sure you kill her, and then we do have some gunpowder and a file note here. So back out the way we came. Now there are going to be a few pale heads down here. There's one who crawls around. And then one who's just staggering around here. One just dropped down out of a little hole in the wall. And sometimes that can catch you by surprise if you go too far forward and get behind you. There is a note on the left hand side there if you are collecting all the game notes. And just round here is another pale head. Some shotgun shells. And there is a green herb there on the left, but we'll be collecting that on the way back through. Now again, another file on that guy there, and a red herb here if you need that. Gunpowder we're going to pick up at this point. Give us some more shotgun shells. And then down the stairs here, you can't actually get through this door yet. We need to turn right here. Now just behind this set of servers here is a zombie that you probably want to kill because he will come alive. Silver box tucked in here with the first aid spray in it. And then this red power core, we just need to push this back in by interacting with it. This will unlock the door that we just saw at the bottom of those stairs. So we can just go back on ourselves now. You do have to interact with the hand scanner to be able to get in. So another silver box here, and this will have some explosive B. In the lift at the end, you interact with this, it will take us up to the next level. Now just be aware, on the left hand side here you will get some enemies come out of this door. You've got some zombies, you've got a powerhead, and also one of these parasite type zombies. In the silver case here we do have some explosive B, which we did combine to make some acid rounds. Just be aware of the zombie that comes alive here in the corner. There is another silver case here that has some explosive A. And then just in this little fridge area, we will find the liquid filled test tube. Now what we can do is we can combine that with the culture sample from earlier.
These are combined with antigens to increase immune system response.
There is a file in this area if you fancy reading that, and then we can just go back the way we came. Now do be aware at this point when we get down to the bottom, some hunters will burst out of the cryo containers that they are in. So at this stage I would recommend equipping your grenade launcher. So 2 there and then 1 behind you, depending on which difficulty you're playing on. With standard you will usually get 3. And the explosive rounds will usually make light work of these guys. Once they're all dead, the doors will automatically open for you, allowing you to go back up the way you came. Now we can pick up the red herb here. There is another silver case here around on the left there that I just ran past. I did miss that this time round. And we have got that green herb on the right here that we missed earlier that we can now just combine with the red herb. Back the way we came, through the door, we turn right here. And then straight in front of us here is the safe room again, where we can now store up any items we don't need. So we are going to be coming up for a boss battle soon. We are just making sure that we've got enough items what we think we might need at this stage. So we used a single herb there to get us back up to a fine status and just combined those explosives to make some flame rounds. Don't forget to save if you need to. So now back out the safe room and back up the stairs on the left. Back into the room where we got the USB drive from earlier, and then just straight in front of us here is the machine we need to interact with.
To begin vaccine synthesis, place the materials in the chamber.
So now we can interact and press use for the sample that we mixed earlier. And then here we just have to press spacebar to adjust the temperatures, starting with the first one on the left here being mid. Press twice on the middle one to be high, and then the right one you don't need to touch. And that's what you need to be able to successfully create the vaccine.
Synthesizing vaccine. Yes. Synthesis complete. Please remove the vaccine canister.
So pick up the vaccine will now move us on to the next part of the game. So once the cutscene there's finished, we can run towards this open vent here to be able to get out. So here you've just got to press the on-screen prompt to be able to move away from the Nemesis until an explosion occurs. So in this safe area here, we will find some flame rounds and explosive rounds. There is some explosive A in the box there, some high-grade gunpowder and a first aid spray. So we are just preparing for a boss battle here. We are going to have quite a challenging boss battle here. So we want to make sure that we've got the right weapons and ammunition with us at this point. We're just going to combine the high grade with the normal gunpowder to create some shotgun shells. And don't forget to save if you need to. Now if you turn left here before going right, there is a silver case here that will have some flame rounds. I would recommend putting some explosive rounds together right at the start here because they are going to be what you'll be best off using for this boss battle.
Nikolai, don't! The city needs that vaccine!
More than I do. I don't think wisdom I've been trying to impart on you is getting through. Now I know you can't put a price on life. But I'm in this business to get paid. So let's make a deal. You go down there, battle the Nemesis, and I'll recall it all and sell the combat art. Put on a good show, and maybe I don't need the vaccine. Agreed? Good.
Straight away here we want to be using those explosive rounds to be able to keep the Nemesis back. These are really the only type of rounds that are going to stop him from charging at you, and they'll stop him dead in his tracks. So we're going to pump 5 of those into him here until he goes down, and then we're going to just pump a few magnum rounds into him here.
Jill, is that you?
Carlos?
You're okay. Let me spot for you.
Good idea.
So we did reload to the flame rounds literally just before the cutscene there, and you can get a couple of flame rounds in him or acid rounds if you've got them before he actually runs off. There is going to be a couple of zombies come out of these hatches behind you, which you can just either use flame rounds on or acid rounds, and then Carlos will tell you which tank the Nemesis is behind. If you shoot him when he's up on the tank, he will fall down, exposing that weak spot that we can now just use our lightning hawk to do massive amounts of damage. Do make sure at this point you stay back though, because he does get extremely angry and he'll start trying to hit you with his arm there. We just want to use the mine rounds now to be able to again just kind of throw him off balance a little bit and stop him from being able to hit you. If you do enough damage, he will start running around again. Here we just had a crawling zombie we just finished off with a shotgun. Again, another round on to the Nemesis who is up on the tank, and now just pumping those magnum rounds into him to be able to do as much damage as you possibly can. Mixing that up with the flame rounds here, which he really doesn't like. Sometimes if there's zombies moving around in the area, he will sometimes kill them, so don't worry too much about them. Just make sure you know where they are so they don't grab you. So if he's up on that section there, he will jump very quickly. Sometimes you can't always get a shot on him, so in this case we just managed to dodge him. So using up our final mine rounds here, now switching back over to the Magnum means now we've defeated the Nemesis at this stage. So well done guys, we're moving on to the next part of the game.
Here comes a crane. Use it to climb up.
Come on. Come on.
Jill, get back! Now get on! I'm gonna melt this fucker into mush. Okay, I'll meet you up ahead.
Nikolai, where did you go? I have to get that vaccine back.
So in the safe room here, just make sure that you've got a decent amount of ammunition and herbs. Pop a save in if you need to.
It's done. Give me the vaccine, you greedy son of a bitch.
No. You bring money. I like money. We shall make ours an ongoing arrangement. Now drop the gun! Have you ever seen anything so incredible? The data on this would be worth millions. But, you know how it is. City's about to explode, and you can't put a price on life. Good luck!
Nikolai!
Jill!
Go after Nikolai! He's got the vaccine!
What about you?
We're running out of time. I've got this.
I know you do.
Look, just so you know, this is the last fucking time.
Just as you thought the Nemesis was dead, he's back once again. So what we want to do is we want to interact with this machine behind us, which will have this very nice railgun, maybe, I don't know, some sort of electric discharge weapon that you can just use here to be able to move on to the next part of the boss battle. And because of the amount of power this uses, it has to recharge, and obviously something goes wrong and some of the power cores don't actually go back in, which means we've got to push them in manually. At this stage, the Nemesis will develop these pods that we need to shoot. However, until he starts hitting you or trying to hit you, you are not able to do any damage to him. So what we want to do is here, we want to run to the right and shoot those pods there. When he swipes his arm across here like this, we can avoid that, wait for him to swap arms. While he's swapping arms to the other side, we can now get over here and shoot the pods. They will fire acid at you, which usually you will be able to avoid. Now he's gone down because we've got all the pods here. We can push in the first power core.
Power sources remaining.
Running over to the right here, we can now actually put the second power core in because of the amount of time that he's down. This also puts us now in a good position to be able to shoot the final pods on his body, running back round to the left. With the shotgun, shooting the pods over the side. Using now our Magnum, which still had a couple of rounds left in it. And now all we've got to do is just get around to this one pod left on his leg here. Just do be aware sometimes when he crashes down like this, his arm can hit you. But now this is the final power core that we need to put in. Once we've got this power core in, we'll be able to run back over to our weapon again. It will now be fully charged.
All power sources activated. Powering
You think I don't know how to fuck you up?
And kaboom! Shell all of my little friend. So good work, guys. You have just defeated the Nemesis. We now just need to give him one final goodbye present.
Come on! Next time, take the fucking hit! Good riddance.
Good riddance indeed. So now there is this path left in the remains of the Nemesis, which we can run through and turn right. There's a set of ladders in the corner here that we can go up. Now just when you get to the top of the ladders here, before you go through the door, there is a file on the floor. So if you are collecting files, you might want to pick that up. We're just going to now follow this into the lift that's in front of us here.
Get away with that vaccine. I hope Carlos dead. I can still catch him.
You're not going to stop. Promised you this, didn't I?
No! Do you have any idea what you've just done?
No, don't care. My client ordered me to reduce Umbrella to rubber.
10 minutes until missile
Ah.
impact.
The missile has launched. And that is my cue. Goodbye, Miss Valentine. Shame you didn't listen to me when you had the chance.
Jill! Shoot him!
I can't! I'll hit you!
Do it! You have to! There's no other way.
At this point, you do have to shoot Nikolai. It was definitely a headshot, but apparently you didn't hit him in the head.
Hey, I told you I couldn't leave you in a Carlos's world. That would just be too cruel.
So well done, guys. You have just completed Resident Evil 3 Remake.
What about him?
Don't forget to check out the channel for additional Resident Evil 3 content. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. And just watch this space for more videos.
There's a price.
Thanks for watching.
Even letting the world burn.
Who are you working for?
I'll tell you, if you get me out of here. I'll pay you whatever you want. You're a fool. You're a fool! If I die, you'll never find out the truth.
I don't mind a little detective work.
Jill, you alright?
There it is.
It's finally over.
So long, RC.
I felt empty and cold as the heat from the blast washed over us. All this death wasn't caused by a monster-making virus. It was greed. Human greed. I decided then and there, the ashes of Raccoon City would be Umbrella's ashes too. I would end them, once and for all.
You're ready for this? Yo, who's the daddy?